That's my intro music. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm so excited about today. I'm Renee, and thank you for this opportunity to come before you for another review. And this time we're doing Married to Medicine. And listen, when I tell you guys I'm so excited about this review, the review was on, the reunion, I'm sorry, the reunion was on point. I'm saying, at one point I forgot I was even supposed to be writing my notes. That's how good it was. That's how entertaining it was. That's how engulfed in the show I was. It was crazy from beginning to end. Bravo, bravo. You guys did that. You got it going on. So, everybody want to get started talking about what the ladies were wearing and, all of that. So let me just get right into it because I know that's part of what you all want to hear. First, shall I start with the drag? I don't know. But let me just say, they all, for the most part, looked beautiful. Very proud of each and every one of them that have made it on the show. They are all doing something that many of us would love to do. So let's just keep it real. Kudos to you ladies for actually making it on the show and just continuing to keep us entertained and coming back every year. Toya, her dress. Let's start with Toya. I'm going to just say no. No, worst dressed. I'm going to give it to... Oh, you know what? No, I'm not going to tell y'all yet. I'm not going to tell you who I think the worst dress was. Not just yet. So Toya, I did not like her dress at all. It gave me a very garden vibe, very month of April calendar type of thing. I didn't like it at all. Dr. Jackie, I love you, Dr. Jackie. Everybody loves Dr. Jackie, but it was a little boring. It was plain, it was boring. I didn't like it, Doc. I'm sorry. I didn't like the jewels up top. I didn't like the sleeves that you can put your finger through. I know that's a cool thing, but I think that's more for athleisure, or you put it on the hoodie and you could put your little thumbs into the sleeve. But other than that, it doesn't belong on a dress. It really doesn't. Designers, stop doing it. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly. Who you playing with? Nobody, because she came out to slay the girls. Yes, she looked beautiful. She looked absolutely beautiful. Her hair was just laid down, okay? And I thought she looked great. Miss Quad. And you know what's so funny? Everybody does that to Quad, but that came from Mariah, or did it? I think it did. When she came out in one of the beginning episodes, I think whatever season she started in, Miss Quad. She got it, which was very fun. That's when they had a really good relationship, and it's sad to see the demise of that, but whatever. Quad looked okay. I mean, honestly, from Quad, I expect a little bit more because she's very fashionable. She's very young and fun. So I didn't really get what I wanted from Quad. Who else we have? Dr. Simone. Paige and Dr. Simone. You need to get yourself a new stylist, girl. Every single season, you are committed to looking crazy. Okay? And I need you to cut it out. Call me first. I will tell you yes, no, yes, gotcha. At least I could give you a safe option. Like, I'm not a fashionista or anything, but I could have told you that dress and that hair and that makeup was wrong. It was just wrong. Okay, Anila. It was the first reunion. She'll learn. All that tulle, nope. I didn't like it. No. Who else did we have? Contessa. I think Contessa is just gorgeous. I'm not even gonna lie. The woman is beautiful. I think the dress looked much better on camera, on the show than it did in pictures. It just didn't read well through the pictures, but the woman is stunning. Anyway, best dress, I'm gonna have to give it to excuse me, y'all, it ain't Rona, I promise. Best dress, I'm gonna have to give it to I'm gonna have to give it to Dr. Contessa. She looked beautiful. She looked absolutely beautiful. She's got the body for it. She has the face for it. The makeup was right. The little swan-like thing she had going on down the side was just great. It worked for her. That's what you want to do, is you want to buy a dress for your body type. You don't have to wear what some celebrity would wear if that's not your body type. So she did very well with that. And then I would have to say, nope, I don't think any of the other ladies could have touched her. I'm sorry, not Quad, not Dr. Heavenly, not anybody. So worst dress, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to give it to Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone, you look crazy. You look crazy with that ponytail and that I Dream of Jeannie look, and the purple and the short dress and the lipstick. Was what I was thinking, was who let you wear that? Okay, don't do it again. Don't you come back next season, if you come back next season, with that. Do you understand me? Okay. All right, let's get into the show. So let's talk about, that's my notes about the show. Anyway, they started talking about this whole conversation with Anila and this makeup artist. Can I just say, I don't care. I don't care about Anila paying her makeup artist. I mean, why are we making a big deal about maybe what's $200, $300 at the most? She did end up paying them. And my thing is, Toya, you the last one that need to be talking about somebody's finances. You are the last one that needs to be trying to school somebody on their finances, girl. Not you, sis. You've had season after season after season of issues with your finances, and Anila does one thing and you try to put this label on her as if she's not paying her bills. I didn't like that. Shame on you. Shame on you. I don't do that. And of course, okay, this makeup artist is going to make a big deal. It's their moment to shine. I don't want to say who wouldn't, but there's so many people that'll be like, ooh, she's on TV show. If I say something and I complain, then I'm going to get some kind of notoriety. Just like they got their name read on the reunion, their Instagram name or whatever it was. That's exactly what they're looking for. Notoriety. Unfortunately, it's just how people are. They'll jump on your bandwagon or jump on your back, whichever one you let them get on. All right. So anyway, Toya ends up pulling out receipts. Anila ends up pulling out receipts. Blah, boring. Moving right along. Anila gave Toya I'm gonna call him Messy Andy for the rest of this review. When Andy asked Anila to give everybody a hashtag, and she said Toya was hashtag U-Haul collection, honey, I said she got me. She got me with that one. And she did a really good job with her hashtags. I cannot lie. But when Toya said, be careful, I was like, what that mean, Toya? Who you telling be careful, girl? Be careful for what? Who gonna check me, boo? Huh? Do not let me get Sheree and bring her out here from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Don't do it. Who gonna check Anila? Anybody? Is you? You gonna check Anila? Nope. She said what she said, like Dr. Heavenly said. She said what she said. And that's period, okay? Hashtag U-Haul collection. Yes, I absolutely love the shade of it all. But then they ended up hugging and kissing. And so ain't nothing wrong with a little reconciliation. I'm here for it as always. We just like to have a little fun. Then they move on to Toya and Heavenly says, Toya and Heavenly says, when they were talking about the bills, she says, you can't be so blunt with people. Dr. Heavenly, I'm going to have to stop you there, because you know good and well you're the first one to be blunt and upfront and a little bit rude. I mean, I think once people get to know your personality, they know you full of jokes. But still, baby, the answer is no. Okay? No, you the last one that can give someone that critique. That has your name written all over it. That was really funny. Even Messy Andy tried to get in and talk a little bit about it. Eventually, Toya ends up taking responsibility for her part in just being mean. Did y'all think Toya was mean this season? I thought she was mean. She was rude. She was abrasive. And it was all unnecessary. And when she tried to put it on Eugene, talking about my husband is the only one who's an ER doctor, and he was depressed, and well, I just was thinking to myself, why would you put it on your husband, Toya? This is you, doll. Let me tell you something. Cover your husband. He was this, and he was coughing, and no, what about you? This was about you taking accountability for your actions. Do not put it on Eugene. Eugene comes across as a very good man, a very humble man. He lets you do your thing, you shine, and he gets out here, he works, he cooks, and he enjoys his family. You hit the jackpot with that brother. Okay, you hit the jackpot. Don't throw him under the bus every chance you get just to cover yourself because you don't want to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's not the end of the world. But thankfully, she ended up taking accountability. And like I said, between her and Anila, they ended up working it out. Now, I'm going to have to say this about Toya. You've been on the show for about 8 seasons. And I haven't seen a business from you yet. And if you've been on more seasons, then even worse. But you're going to have to come up with something. Stop wasting this opportunity. Turn it into something more. Turn it into some laundromats if you need to. Come up with some tow trucks or something. Let us see something that you're doing other than Married to Medicine, because this business is not forever. You can be here today, gone tomorrow. Here now, they cut you next week, and then what are you going to do? Yes, Eugene has been provided, but trust me, he appreciates this extra money that's coming in, and when it stops coming in, you want to have it supplemented with something else. So can we see something from you, sis? Write some books or something. What are we doing here? I need you to find yourself another stream of income. Do something with the boys, some fashion with the boys, or something like that. Comic book. I'm giving you the ideas. I ain't even gonna charge you nothing. Everything I just said is there for you for free. So please figure that out. Then Miss Quad. She got it. She comes out and she's her regular self. Let me tell you, honey. She's her regular self. Quad seems like so much fun, but she also seems like the kind of friend that'll get on your nerves. You know what I mean? Like the one that's always right, the one that's, prim and proper, and she has to say everything so politically correct and pronounce every letter of every word. It's not necessary. Quad, I love you. I really do. But she comes off on the screen, right? She comes off on screen as a little bit selfish and a little bit self-absorbed. Doesn't mean she is in real life. None of us know her, but that's the perception that many of us get from her. So I'll work on that if that's true about you, baby. They go over the issue between Quad and Dr. Heavenly and the whole, was it this you stank? Or was it like, ooh, girl, you killing them out here, or whatever that emoji was supposed to mean. Honestly, Quad, I'm gonna have to go with Dr. Heavenly on this one. I just didn't think it was that deep. For what you said to her, and for you all to have a genuine friendship, and for you to say, well, I did that too because she's been going in on me on her YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep it honest. I've seen Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel, and she does not go in on you. Not in a way for the comeback that you gave her. She says a little this and a little that, and it's all in fun, Quiet. I'm gonna be honest. Like Dr. Heavenly said on the show, you're just sensitive, baby. And it's okay to be sensitive, but you have to understand and give people a little bit more grace when that's your personality. I honestly don't believe Dr. Heavenly meant you any harm with her emoji. I thought you was wrong for coming on Watch What Happens Live and saying, no, I don't regret it. You should have. You should have regretted it, and you should have apologized on this reunion show, because Dr. Heavenly did not deserve what you gave her. But I am glad that during one of the episodes you guys hugged and she grabbed on your booty and made sure it was real. But whatever, work on that for me. Quad says they talk about this whole townhome thing. Messy Andy. Messy Andy. Apparently Quad bought a new home. Messy Andy asked Toya, what do you think about it? And Toya says, I don't. And if I was her, why would I care, baby? You worry about you, I'm gonna worry about me. Toya is over there sitting in a $3 million house. Yes, the house is for sale, but that's her house with her husband and her kids. And she got the whole shebang. And so I would not be worried about somebody that lived in the townhouse either. I wouldn't be worried about that. Somebody that lived in the park. I wouldn't be worried about anybody. I don't care where you live, honey. I'm over here with me and my man and my kids minding my own business. And that's the way it should be. But when she started talking about it and they started talking about that live, I had to think a little bit because Quad kept talking and kept talking. And you know how she come up with these cute little things that she say or whatever. You know, she's like a walking, like, funny quote or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a funny Instagram post. Like anything Quad say, you could probably make a post out of it. But she kept talking over Toya when Toya was saying, you were not surprised about that live. You just kept talking. She just kept talking. She was like, wait a minute, sis, I talked to you afterwards, so you weren't surprised. And Quad just kept talking and kept talking. If you notice, they never made her answer whether she knew about it or not. And the way that she handled that, the way the vibe that I get from Quad, if she didn't know about it, she would have carried that point. She would have carried that point if she actually didn't know about it. So I got a feeling that she did. But let me tell you something about Miss Quad. She stays on the ready. If there's one thing that I feel is true about Quad, she stay on the ready. So if you're gonna come for her, baby, you best to stay locked and loaded because she is not playing with you. And she gonna make you think about anything that you say to her from that day forward. So that's really important for you, Toya. Make sure you get your comeback game up. But I have to say that the argument about whether she said apartment versus townhome, it's just another example of what I was saying, that, you know, I agree with Dr. Heavenly. I think Quad is just sensitive. I don't think she knows how to take a joke. I don't think she knows how to take criticism. I think she takes everything personal, or at least most things. And no, I don't know her personally. So what I'm saying is based on my opinion and what I received from the show. But I don't think that she has tough skin, you know, like she needs to, especially in this group of friends where we pay, girl, to be shady. That's what we're here for. We pay for the drama and all of that other stuff. And yes, there's some camaraderie too, but it ain't all about that. So just learn to let some things go. It ain't that deep. The person calls in or writes Andy a question, Messy Andy, and says, does Quad apologize for anything? The answer is no, because she didn't apologize on the show. She did answer the question. She said, well, I'm not perfect, baby, and I'm da. Okay, we know that, Quad. We know you're not perfect. None of us are perfect, and yes, you get it wrong. But I ain't heard you apologize yet. And I probably ain't gonna hear you apologize anytime soon. So anyway, Dr. Simone tells Quad that she holds grudges. It's true. But Dr. Simone, from what I heard and from what I've seen about you, baby, you do too. So this whole situation between you and Dr. Jackie, it really is not a big deal. Sorry, baby, it's really not that big of a deal. You guys have been friends for 20 years and you want to throw that friendship away for what? For Dr. Heavenly? For her being friends with Dr. Heavenly? For Dr. Heavenly saying something about your husband? When your husband said something about Dr. Heavenly? For something that happened with Buffy? You guys have 20 years of a friendship. Who cares? Throw that mess away. Hit the reset button and go back into your friendship, because you guys are going to need each other again at some point. But Quan says, baby, I'm not gonna let you put that toe tag on me. I was thinking to myself, Quan, what is you talking about, a toe tag? Ain't nobody trying to pronounce you dead, girl. She just said you hold grudges. What are you talking about? But again, she post ready, baby. She stay ready. I'm telling y'all, don't come for Miss Quad. She don't play that. Toya and Eugene, and they start talking about, you know, I think, you know, some replays about how she treats him. And, you know, he tells her that she's been mean. I really hate to see how Toya treats Eugene. I do. I am not being dishonest about that. I think maybe her drinking has something to do with it. And I also think Toya, along with Quad, she's very sensitive as well. I do think Toya is just a good girlfriend. She wants to have fun. She wants to kick back. She doesn't want to take things too lightly or talk too deep. She just wants to have fun and, be fashionable and talk about the riches of it all. I think that's the kind of girl that Quad is. But she started to cry. And I have to admit that Quad genuinely looked concerned. She was looking at her. You know how sometimes you get in an argument with your sister or your brother or a good friend or whatever, but then when they see you hurting, their attitude immediately shifts, and now they're concerned and they take on a different posture. That's what I got from the look on Quad's face, and I was very pleased with that. Because at the end of the day, when it all falls down, we still have to be there for each other. But then the grenade on the side, Heavenly said, when Toya started saying we all going, I'm going through this and I'm going through that. Dr. Heavenly said, we all going through stuff. What you mean? You act like you're the only one going through stuff? Child. It was a mess. Even Dr. Contessa said, you going through something. You going through something. You going through something. And then she asked Messy Andy, is he going through anything? And Messy Andy says no. Messy Andy says no. Imagine this. All these black women on the stage saying they're dealing with things and they're going through stuff. But then the one white guy on the stage is like, no, I'm fine. Life is good. It's peachy. It's swell. And I'm just like, okay, Messy Andy. But let me tell you my part. Because Dr. Heavenly said, don't use that tone with me. She said, sit up straight when you talking to me. I was like, ooh, she pulled out that mama tone and that mama finger. Sit up straight when you talking to me. You could see the look on Toya's face. She was taken back. She really was taken back. She was like, wait a minute now. I don't even know how to receive this. Like, I don't know whether to actually sit up straight because my mama is over there telling me to sit up or what was going on. But I can tell you what, she was not expecting that side of Dr. Heavenly. But when Dr. Heavenly, let me tell you, she will secure the paycheck. Period. I don't care what nobody say. Dr. Heavenly can be blunt. She can be a little misunderstood. She can be inappropriate at times, but she is going to secure the check, period. And I love it, and I'm here for it. So do the thing, Dr. Heavenly. Do the thing. That's what we want to see. Then Toya starts going in and she decides that she wants to apologize to the group. She wants to take accountability, even though she doesn't really say much, and Jackie tries to talk to her, but she interrupts. And so anyway, she ends up doing it, and I was just really taken back because when she started saying, and Toya said, and this one over here has called me a prostitute, and this one over here has called me stupid, and I was just like, oh Lord. But they took the apology and they just moved on now. So anyway, they started talking about a friendship. And Quad says, well, why are we talking about friendships? Let's talk about it. And Andy says, no, but no, friend of the show. Nope. No. You don't get to do that, friend of the show. You don't get to do that. He says, we're going to talk about Quad's house. I mean, not Quad's house, Toya's house. We're going to talk about Toya's house. And is your house up for sale? And she says, yeah, Toya, why is your house up for sale? Your house is beautiful. You wrote your name on the rocks. You put stuff in the foundation. You got your kids that are set up for, feeling comfortable in this house. You about to move again? For what? At some point, the motivation can't just be money. At some point, you just got to settle down and be satisfied and be comfortable with what you have gotten and what God has given you. At some point, that has to happen. And I'm just concerned that you just keep chasing the dollar. You got to start chasing purpose at some point. You have to start being strategic about how you want to move and how you play the game. That's why I'm saying we need to see some products on the show from you. We need to see a business idea from you. That way, that $1 million that's floating around there, that's a one-time thing. If you had a business, then you could be making multiple millions over the turn of every year. So just start thinking about some things, because I was really disheartened to see that you're about to move these babies again. Not again. I love their school. Girl, they could get another school. Shoot, they could homeschool. I mean, you probably won't be the teacher, but you can get you somebody that'll come to the house to teach them. So it really is not that big of a deal. That one little $1 million ain't hurting nobody. Anyway, they move along to something fun, and we got Kiss and Quad is what I like to call it. So apparently Quad has kissed Toya, Quad has kissed Anila, and then I love Quad. Heavenly said, well, I feel left out. And Quad said, oh, you want a kiss? She said, yes. She said, come. I know that's right. Get over here. I love me some Quad, y'all. I can't even lie. I love her. She's just like a ball of fun in my mind. But anyway, Toya ends up walking over to kiss Heavenly. She was supposed to kiss her on the cheek, but she kissed her on the mouth. I don't know what's wrong with these women, but okay. Whatever. It was a very light moment for what the moment that the show was about to go into. So when they cut and they came back and they started talking about Dr. Contessa and Scott, it was heavy. I'm telling you guys, I literally forgot that I was supposed to be taking notes. There were so many times that I had to rewind the show and play it again because I wanted to make sure I heard what I thought I heard. Or it was like, oh, I'm supposed to not just be watching this to be entertained. I'm supposed to be doing a review on this. But it was just so good. The whole show from top to bottom was probably one of the best reunion shows I have seen in a long time. So it was really disheartening to see the moment with Dr. Contessa, and Messy Andy says, he asked if Dr. Contessa thought that Dr. Scott was cheating, and she said, not today. But previously, obviously she felt that way. I just don't understand. Tell me what it is about counseling. Tell me what it is, specifically in the Black community, that has led people to think that counseling is not the way. What is wrong with finding a solution that you don't have? You don't know everything. You can't get through everything. And so if there's somebody that has a tool that you don't have, go get it. I feel like that's another trick of the enemy, if you will, that we keep buying into all of these negative ways of thinking and negative ways of being. Counseling is helpful. Getting help is helpful. Do not think that you have to do it all by yourself. The suicide rate is extremely high. The divorce rate is extremely high. People are now in isolation. They don't even know how to communicate amongst each other. And just because you married and you feel like don't nobody know our business, well, that's true. But clearly you don't know your business either, or your wife would be happy. If you knew how to solve the problem, you would have already solved it. And since you didn't and you can't, then you need to find somebody who can help you walk through the steps to get there. It's very simple, and it's not the end of the world. It doesn't make you weak. So stop with the nonsense about counseling. It's good for everybody. It doesn't have to be sitting on somebody's couch. Now they got virtual counseling. You could do group counseling, whatever, couples counseling. You can get yourself a man counselor and a woman counselor all at the same time. Anything is possible, okay? If you really want to make your relationship better. And that mess that Dr. Scott said about, well, I thought we was grown enough to take care of this ourselves. Don't try to intimidate her or manipulate her. Don't do that. That has nothing to do with age. It has nothing to do with maturity. Problems come no matter how old or how young you are, and you have to learn how to navigate life as it comes. And there may be a bridge that you just don't know how to cross. And it's okay to ask somebody to help you, to extend a hand to you to get you through to the other side. Don't do that, Dr. Scott. Anyway, so they talk about something in the relationship that Scott was doing that was inappropriate, and Scott says, well, ain't nothing been appropriate if she knows about it. We all know that's a lie. And Curtis says, well, what is she deeming inappropriate? And he said, I think he said everything. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. You're uncomfortable answering questions about your marriage because you don't feel like you owe anybody an explanation. Understood. Because that's what pride and ego says. Also, privacy says the same thing. However, you're on a TV show, Scott. And sometimes people are going to ask you questions that you're not comfortable with. And the best way to deal with them, honestly, is to just be honest. You can say, you know what, I'm not willing to talk about that right now. Or you can actually say, I had a phone call. She misunderstood. This was about business. Blah, 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 blah. Because guess what? We're going to judge you regardless. You might as well just tell the truth. And if any of you girls are out there messing with Dr. Scott and you know he married and you know he married to Dr. Contessa, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. All y'all women out there who's still sleeping with somebody else's husband, you're wrong. Especially when you know the man is married. When you know the man is married, don't do it. Just don't even do it. Especially, you know, these girls on TV, don't do that. Don't do it. Anyway, Simone jumps in when Dr. Contessa is talking, and I think it's only right that Dr. Simone jumps in because she does know, based on her relationship and interaction that she's had with Curtis and whoever his friend was, and the inappropriate relationship that they had and how he put that other woman first. I think it helps Dr. Contessa feel as though she's not alone and she has somebody who understands her. And I think she's right. I think everything that Dr. Simone said to Contessa was absolutely right. So when Dr. Jackie said that she gets confused by what's wrong and what Contessa is communicating about her relationship, and so she feels that Dr. Scott must be confused too, I would agree. I would wholeheartedly agree. We got to be clear about our message. But let me tell you something. Relationships are not easy. All of them is up and down. 1 minute y'all lovey-dovey, and the next minute you want to tear each other's heads off, and the next minute you going to the grocery store to get his favorite food, and the next minute he throwing your clothes in the trash. I mean, and then what do? She was right. Dr. Contessa was right. Well, what do you want me to do? Am I supposed to just leave him? Am I supposed to cancel my vacation plans? Am I supposed to just be sad all the time? What is the answer? And the answer is it's situational. But it's also about being clear about what you want from that relationship. If he's not respecting you, then you have to say, look, these are the boundaries that I have. This is the line that I'm going to draw. And if you cross this line of my boundary, then these are the consequences. And you're going to have to stick to that. And that is hard. As a woman especially, it's hard because we want to keep loving and keep nurturing and keep being there for our men. And men, y'all too. So don't come for me. But it's just really important, Dr. Contessa, that you set some boundaries and some standards for your relationship. And if you want counseling, go to counseling, girl. And if you don't go to counseling, then this is the consequence. But what I didn't like is that I feel like Dr. Contessa is two different people. And I think that happens to a lot of the strong women, alpha women, because we have to show up in the world one way most of the time. When we get close to somebody that we feel like can keep us and cover us, we let our guards down and we become a lot more vulnerable, and we're not that strong person. And so I'm sure Dr. Contessa is that way. And I'm praying for you, girl. I'm praying for your relationship. But I didn't think it was right that Dr. Scott found out about that separation on the TV show. That was wrong. Unless he's acting, because we can't see everything and we don't know everything. But him finding out on the show, you don't set no man up like that. No. You got to communicate. Let your husband know what's going on. Everybody outside your house can't know what's going on inside the house first. Okay? The people in the home must be the first people to know. That's just the way it has to be. But I definitely wish them the very best. Part 1 of the reunion was the bomb. If part 2 is that 3 parts, all the parts look like they're gonna be good. So Married to Medicine, if you all are not watching Married to Medicine on Bravo, please do so. Support these women. They're smart, intelligent, beautiful women. All of them seem to be great mothers, all of them that have children, and the ones that don't have children, I'm sure they are motherly to someone, whether it's a niece, a nephew, a child in the neighborhood, or whatever the case may be. So make sure you guys support them. Be sure to like and subscribe and click that notification bell button so that way you can get a review from me. And I will see you guys next time. I'm Renee, and I can't wait to see you soon. And let me know if y'all got some introduction music for me, because my music it ain't changing until I get something different. So anyway, thank you guys.